from the heart of East Tennessee. This is 10 News at 5.
From increased enforcement to large-scale attacks on businesses, cybersecurity is on the minds of Washington and many businesses. While some are going on the offensive, others may not be doing enough to keep intruders out. Welcome back to 10 News at 5. Now, earlier this month, the Obama administration announced it will get aggressive in enforcing cyber espionage laws. This followed by a report from security firm Mandiant, and it found the Chinese government has been actively involved in hacking, stealing trade secrets from dozens of U.S. corporations. And tonight we want to take a deeper look at cyber threats, particularly how they impact businesses. And we are joined now by Thompson of Claris Networks, familiar face, and Richard Rackley, the CEO of Fountainhead College of Technology. And you both are well up on this threat that's looming. And Richard, you've had the opportunity to meet Kevin Mandia, who is of Mandiant Technologies that did this detection of the Chinese espionage.
Right.
What can you take away from what you had a conversation with him about?
Well, he presented at the East Tennessee Cybersecurity Summit several years ago, and his organization came back a second year also. But the year he was there, it was just fascinating with the amount of knowledge and skill that he had himself, and now his company's just blown up. He's got many, many more employees than he did back then. And, you know, he showed us actual, looking at a computer screen of what being hacked looks like from the hacker's side, and what they're seeing and how they can come in and take over a computer, and you really don't even know they're in there. And then, you know, he even had pictures of rooms in China that had Chinese soldiers, but they were all sitting in front of computers, and they didn't have guns, they had computers, and that's all they do 24/7 is sit there and try to hack America.
We've heard from government leaders within the United States be very open about that's the next real 9/11 in this country, is a cyber attack like that shuts down any number of systems. Dan, what can you add about sort of the threat to businesses? What should they be thinking about?
Yeah, you know, and what was interesting about the Mandiant report is it wasn't so much focused on Chinese attacking U.S. government entities. They're attacking U.S. private businesses. And the big takeaway for me, anyway, is that you know, security a lot of times is kind of it's the second player in the band, so to speak. I mean, the companies are concerned about it, but ultimately they won't give enough budget to the whole thing. And what this proves is, whether you think you're a target or not, China may find value in what you're doing, or some other internet party may find value in what you're doing. And so it really needs to be on our minds, and it needs to be something that not only are we concerned about, but we actively involve ourselves in trying to secure our networks, and most importantly, educate our people on practices, you know, that keep us safe.
Do you have any idea what percentage, just your educated guess, of companies, say in East Tennessee, that are in need of ramping up their cybersecurity?
Sure. Well, I mean, so there's a joke in the industry, and there's two kinds of companies. There's the companies that know they've been compromised, and those that don't. So, I mean, it's very prolific out there, but it's something that we should all definitely be concerned about. And quite frankly, being in the industry, it's something that can be hard to get people to spend money on.
Absolutely. Richard, what do you have to add to that? What do you think the awareness level is of folks out there?
Well, not as high as it needs to be. And the interesting thing about that Mandiant report is he gave a list of things to look for in your network to see if you've been compromised. So a long list. And so if you have any of these IP addresses or anything like that, then they've been there, or maybe they're still there. And then there's a new phrase out now. We've heard of the advanced persistent threat, but now there's the advanced volatile threat, where they're just coming in quickly, hitting the RAM on the computer, grabbing data, and they're out. And they're not even sitting around trying to get you know, more resources from that. They just come in, grab data right off the chips, and then they're gone.
There's some debate out there about whether defense is enough, and whether some cybersecurity companies are arguing, hey, you've got to be more effective at confronting it on the front end. What do both of you think of that?
Well, you know, the laws on that are so kind of gray that you may be able to get away with that today, but I would be surprised how, you know, if the U.S. government doesn't do something to kind of stamp that out. But, you know, again, you know, a good offense is one thing, but if you don't have a defense, you know, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So I would think, you know, definitely let's worry about the defense first. We'll worry about the offense later.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, even Fountainhead College has seen some of this happen on our network, and so there's something called defense in depth, so that even if they get into your network, it's harder to get into the important data, the trade secrets or the social security numbers or credit card numbers or whatever you might have on your network. So you have to have good defense in depth to mitigate that.
Just, I know we're focused on businesses, but on the personal side, I imagine that the statistics are pretty much the same. A lot of people just aren't as protected as they need to be. If they want to learn more, what's the best resource that you found, Richard, they should go to?
Well, you know, there's a local group called InfraGard that anyone can join, and it's tied in with the FBI, and you learn a lot about the resources that are out there, and that's who we sponsor the East Tennessee Cybersecurity Summit with, which, by the way, is going to be in October on the 23rd and 24th this year. And so it's a great place to go and meet actual practitioners, and then just going to the meetings they have every other month. You meet quite a bit of people and get a lot of information.
Gentlemen, thank you both for the conversation. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll see you back here in just a few minutes for more 10 News at 5.